Hello and welcome to Don't Evolve Me, the place like Ash Ketchum's Pikachu. We don't evolve, we just level up. And Brandon, that's going to be your thumbnail now.
That's
Just
good.
got
That's
done
good. That's better.
complaining.
Yep.
Welcome me. We are talking Fantastic Four spoiler talk. I got a chance to review it. You watched it. We did not get a chance to review it yet. We're a little late. We have our reasons because we're starting a new D&D show, and we were hard at work at that. We just started Roll for the End. The Bleak, which is the name for our season 1. We just did a session 0. We'll be getting that out shortly. Some promotional stuff, and then we'll be recording later this month. And so we're hard at work at that, especially that man right across the screen from me. His production is peak, so hard at work. But now we're here to talk Fantastic Four. Brandon, so I don't know if you watched my review, but I did tell you a little bit about my review. I left the theater feeling somewhat disappointed, and I just want to say that, like, I think my views of the movie has changed now that it's been like a week. More so that I look at the film more fondly. I don't look at it as like disappointed for what could have been, more as that was a solid film. And I
Yep.
think that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm still at the point where, like, that movie should have been better, in my opinion. I think the movie should have been longer. I think the characters are great. I think the story is great. I think the writing is smart. I really love the way that there's just problems, especially the Galactus problem, and like they have to, you know, be smart people and actually try to solve the problem. And I really love that like the movie took time to handle like those details. My only thing that like I was disappointed by narratively was we kind of just got jumped into a movie and we got pushed 2 movies into one. We got, Fantastic Four, the origin film, how they got their powers, handling the dynamics, getting a new baby now, and that was mostly kind of the plot line was, hey, there's a new baby. It felt like 2005's Fantastic Four. Like, that movie was, hey, we got our powers, we got to figure this out and do a bunch of testing in the Baxter building. That's what this movie was. But this movie was also, hey, the Silver Surfer is here, Earth is going to die soon, we have to take on Galactus and figure this out. And this movie kind of like blended 2 storylines together. And I always thought like these 2 storylines were very Fantastic Four. Like, this is the story that I think of the Fantastic Four is them trying to stop Galactus and then, taking on Doom and having like, I just felt like this movie should have been a lot longer because there's so many different payoffs that just didn't feel great that I think could have been.
Ironically, I think obviously there's a lot of comparisons between this and Superman since they came out within
Yes,
like 2 weeks of each other. But I think that they're kind of in a very similar boat with that. That both of them could have probably been like a half an hour longer or so. Ironically,
I agree. I
and they
agree.
both kind of were pushing like an origin and like a bigger story. I think Superman kept it a little bit smaller scale because we think of
Yes.
Galactus as such a, like big end boss for the Fantastic Four. But I also
Hmm.
do kind of appreciate them just going for it right away. I mean, we got Lex
I do too.
Luthor like in his full glory in Superman, and I mean that
Yes.
kind of is we get like the origin for the hero and like
Hmm.
one of their main nemesis. Obviously, it wasn't Doctor Doom, but I think they had plans for Doctor Doom, and that's why there was hints at him at
We,
least.
yeah, there was plenty of hints. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this movie, where I'm like, I think it's a B+ movie. I think I use the analogy of, it's like when you have an A+ student and they go for B+ work and give you B+ work. It's like it's hard to be upset, but it's also like it's hard not to be disappointed. And I think overall that's how I felt with it. But I think, yeah, I do recognize it's one of the better movies since Phase 3. I would say it's in that top 3. But give me more of your thoughts, because you haven't shared your thoughts on here of like what your thoughts on the Fantastic Four as a whole. And you can go broad of the story, or you can go really specific.
First thing that I loved was the world. I
Yes.
have found recently that I'm kind of a really big sucker for like weird, kind of like out of time timepieces, like
Hmm.
things that like are take place in a time period but don't really take place in that time period because things are different still.
Yeah.
So even though I think it's supposed to be in the 60s, like that's like their years in the Fantastic Four
Hmm.
movie, they still have like crazy technology built off of like that 60s vibe, and I really dig that kind of stuff,
It
even if
reminded me
it's
of
like
Jetsons a
improbable.
lot.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Like Jets,
Uh,
The Jetsons. I would say Fallout like Fallout.
Mm.
I know you're not a big Fallout player, but that's what
But I know, yeah, I know the vibe.
the vibe. I love the like I forget the technology that's used. Not there's I forget the name, but in the 50s we kind of broke into like this different form of technology where we didn't use like vacuum tubes or whatever it was called, whereas like this type of style we had like the bigger TVs, so like they had like giant, big TVs, but it's like a form of a TV, or like
Mm.
the ovens or other technologies thicker because it uses like these different type of tubes, and that's
Technologies, yeah.
that. Yeah, so like we're using like that technology and we're seeing like the future of that, and I enjoyed that aspect of it.
Mm.
But,
That was probably my favorite part of the movie was the world and stuff like that. It just
yeah,
felt so like different, but also like cohesive at the same time. Like
I
it.
wish that's why I was upset about this movie and why I feel like it needs to be longer. I want more of this world. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
Well, that is one of the like things that I'm worried about now. It's like, okay, so this world was so cool with the Fantastic Four
Hmm.
going into Doomsday after Secret Wars.
We're
Are
not
they
going
just going to be
back.
part? Yeah, we're not ever going to see this world again, really. Aside
I
from,
don't.
I think he did say that the
We
Avengers
could.
would go to Earth 828 in Doomsday, so we'll see like that
Yeah,
Earth when they meet him or whatever. But we're not going to get like another movie set on Earth 828. I don't think, unfortunately.
it's hard because it's hard for us to care because like ultimately we want these characters part of like with our heroes.
Mm.
So in order for us to get what we want, this world has to either be destroyed or forgotten about, which kind of like it's there for me. Like I feel that. I also feel like this world's it feels empty-ish. Like it feels lived in, but it feels empty in the sense that we don't get to see a whole lot of the people.
Yeah, I
We don't get
mean,
the
the whole idea, I guess, is that like the only superheroes in this whole world are just the Fantastic Four, and they've kind of made themselves the most
Mhm.
important people in the whole world because of it. And this kind of
Yeah.
like utopia style Earth where everyone can work together to take on a common threat and stuff like that. I don't know. It definitely, they both had a lot of like that hopeful vibes, that and
Yeah.
Superman, which was kind of
The
refreshing
hopeful
instead of
the
like
hopeful
just
father
a
like the
dark.
60s.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was really interesting when it was like Reed Richards was just kind of like, all right, we're gonna teleport ourselves. Was it to a new solar system or to like a
Yeah,
new
to the
dimension?
other new solar system. I think it was just like on the other side of the universe, basically.
Hmm.
Just so far away that Galactus would take forever to get there.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, okay, right now we live in the world that we live in, and politically
Hmm.
it's a freaking mess. Not to get into the weeds of it, but watching a movie where the whole world works together to like conserve energy so like we could
Hmm.
have like this problem. One, it's cool to see and it's inspiring, but it's also just like because one guy says we're gonna do it now. Like,
Hmm.
god damn, like we do not live in that world.
To be fair, though, we've never faced a threat quite like that, and that's what they say a lot of times. Nothing brings people together like the hatred of a third party, right?
This is okay. If Galactus, let's say Silver Surfer comes and says we're done, and
Hmm.
somebody like some mad scientist or some like scientist of Reed
That's
Richards
smart
level is like,
enough.
hey, we need to do this. Do you really believe our world would work together?
Obviously it's easy just to be like, no, we would just die. But I don't know. I mean,
I'm the
in
hopeful one.
human,
I'm
in
optimistic.
in human history, we have come together to do some pretty crazy things. Not quite to that scale, but like big areas, have come together to accomplish some pretty crazy things in some pretty short periods of time.
Hmm. I,
So
I
I
I'm
don't think it's
aware.
outside of the realm of possibility.
I
And I think
agree with that.
without a true test, we'll never really know.
I
Aliens,
agree with that.
where they
I don't
come.
want that test, but if it would come, I'd be like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way we're gonna conserve power. So like, I just think of COVID and wearing masks, and like half the people are like, oh, I don't want to wear masks. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
we're cooked.
Maybe.
We're cooked if
Well,
there's Galactus.
I mean, if we all saw some crazy alien fly from space, confront everyone live in Times Square, it might be a bit more evidence than maybe. I mean, there'd be like a
Again,
billion recordings of it.
drones in New Jersey, man.
Yeah.
Aliens and
Well, yeah, but this is like literally somebody that's obviously an alien coming out and telling the world that they're going to be destroyed. You know, this is different than just somebody seeing something
Dude,
flying in the sky.
it's a dress up. They're just dressing up, man. It's just a giant conspiracy.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the weeds of it. Okay, we can move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. Yeah. So overall, I thought, yeah, solid movie. I thought this movie looked freaking great. Not just the world itself, but just some of the effects. Like I think
Whole scene
when
where they go
the
to space to meet with Galactus and then come back from space, that whole scene, like on the edge of my seat. Like if we got more of
That's-
that kind of stuff in every, like that was it. That was peak right there.
So I did watch the 2005 Fantastic Four 2 weeks ago, like the week before this movie, and I remember watching, and I watched the 2007 one as well, and I remember watching like the effects, and I thought back then the effects were really cool with like the Silver Surfer and stuff, but watching like the Silver Surfer actually surf on things like in space, and then watching Johnny and like Silver Surfer interact back and forth and kind of flirt back and forth, just like the visualization with like Galactus in the background, I just remember just being like, God damn, this looks good. And I know people are like, oh, this is the greatest looking like Marvel movie since Phase 3, like Infinity War stuff. And I'll say this, like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is definitely like worthy of saying like that's one of the better good looking
Especially
movies.
considering how much of it is all just CGI.
Yeah, and I remember the hallway fight because I honestly think that's one of the best hallway fights we've had in Marvel, and I mean that over like Daredevil 2. Like, but this movie's still visually pleasing. Like Galactus, watching him on screen is like a treat.
Yeah, I thought I was super happy with Galactus for the most part. I think they handled him really well.
He's not
Even,
evil,
like-
but he has an evil purpose
Yeah, and
in a sense.
And even like when he first comes to Earth and he's like, since we're jumping ahead, if anything, and starts walking towards like trying to find Franklin or whatever, and they're like attacking him, but he just treats them like flies, basically. It's like, yeah, people are like, oh, he could have just killed all of them or whatever if he like really tried, but he didn't care. Like that's the whole point. Like to him, they're like nothing. You know, if you walked onto a planet, you're not going to go chase around some bugs that are annoying you. You know, you have a mission to do, and that's all he cared about. So I appreciated that like aspect. That
I love the line.
force.
I love the line where he's just like, all right, there's my target. Wait. Scans it. Clever bugs. And then, and then
just
finds
immediately,
Franklin. I remember that scene just like, did they not like plan for the fact that he could just like see if it's there?
Yeah, I think they were just hoping that, you know, in that moment they'd be able to trick him, but they underestimated his intelligence.
All right, let's talk about some of the characters a little bit. I kind of rank the characters in two different tiers, and I think I'm going to change it a little bit. The two tiers, because there wasn't a whole lot of characters outside the Fantastic Four, and I really don't think there's really anyone worth mentioning other than Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Yeah.
So out of
And Herbie.
and Herbie's there. He's cute. He's adorable. But that's about it for Herbie.
Yeah.
He served his purpose. The two tiers. So I have Reed and Sue in one tier, and then I have Johnny and Thing in another tier. I think I'm going to split Thing and Johnny.
Yeah.
Because I think Ben Grimm is like the one character where I don't know how I feel about him afterwards. I didn't feel like his character
didn't get
had
quite
much.
as much time. Yeah, he was the one I think that maybe a scene or two got left on the cutting block. Like they tried to kind of give him the love interest. I'm kind of glad they decided not to make her a blind woman. It just seemed kind of unnecessary after all.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I don't know that
the
Yeah, I know it's the
Yeah.
comic thing, but it always just kind of seemed like I don't know, kind of weird, right? The only woman that would date him would be a blind woman.
the one that's like all about touch, and it's
Yeah.
just like you're touching rocks. Yeah, I've always had that question too, and I remember watching like the Fantastic Four, where like the blind woman, like the very attractive blind woman's like, "Oh, I don't know what you look like," and then feels the rocky body. I'm just like that. I don't know. It just feels out of place. I'm just happy they didn't have the whole like, "Oh, I'm a monster" storyline with.
They
Thing.
didn't go. Yeah, they didn't go deep into
He
that.
he seemed comfortable in his own skin. I like him walking on Yancey Street. I like the little like side bit story, but I'm like, I just wanted a little bit more from him.
Mm.
Just wasn't a moment where it was like, yeah, thing. It was just kind of
Mm.
like, okay,
I mean,
he was there.
even
He didn't
even
ruin it for
his
me.
like moment from the trailer, the clobbering time moment when he hits Galactus, he does save Reed, which is good, but it wasn't quite the impactful moment that
Mm,
I guess it could have been. I don't know. He does, and it makes sense. I mean, he is just hitting Galactus. It's not like he's gonna knock Galactus out or something like that. But still,
yeah, you could have a moment.
yeah.
How do you feel about Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm? And
I wasn't
my one question with you is he better than Chris Evans?
I wasn't sold at first. I think I do like this version more. I think he fits
Hmm.
into the Fantastic Four more because like Chris Evans, Johnny Storm was like I don't know. He kind of played off a little dumb and
Yeah,
mean, like a little
yeah.
bit too mean, and like I don't know if that was necessary. Like it didn't. I don't know. It didn't really seem like as like in the old Fantastic Four. It felt more like he was there because he was like in the old movies at least, like Chris Evans, because he was
Hmm.
Sue's brother, and it was like a total nepotism thing, and that was the only reason why he
Yeah.
was involved in it at all. Whereas this Joseph Quinn's version actually feels like he has a purpose, or more so in the Fantastic Four.
He's an
And
engineer. He's smart. He can
yeah,
figure out
yeah.
things.
They gave
He's
him some
also a
time.
hothead.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not like a super genius like Reed, but I mean, he's obviously, they showed he's more than capable. I mean, he figured out, he was able to decipher an alien language in a relatively short amount of time.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I
This
like that
months,
moment
but
for
yeah,
him. But, I mean, still, I mean, that's still a relatively short
yeah,
amount of time for
yeah.
yourself and just some random audio clips. But I think it showed him like the other sides of him and kind of made him feel more like he actually felt like part of the team and wasn't just like the younger brother kid member
He
kind of thing.
he felt like a character.
Mm.
He, I will say this. I think Chris Evans Storm it just has a lot more charisma to him. I think he's just
Mm.
like he's a
That's
lot. He's a lot
that's
more
Chris
interesting
Evans.
to
Yeah,
watch. Yeah.
yeah.
And even like Deadpool and Wolverine, that scene, I'm like, that's probably my favorite Johnny Storm scene. Not because
Mm.
it feels like the most Johnny Storm. It just feels like Chris Evans is like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just let it all fucking out, and like
Mm.
it's a fun treat to watch. Not to get into like politics, but I often have to remind myself that Fantastic Four, the first couple ones, is a Fox movie,
Hmm.
and I can godly tell that it's like made from those early 2000s like caricatures. You know, Reed is like the can't do no wrong protagonist. Sue's the nagging girlfriend or nagging wife that doesn't have
The
any inherent
eye candy
that yeah
that has to
constantly
get naked
getting
in every movie.
in every like 4 or 5 times in the first one, and then was the nagging like, oh, my wedding. It's like, Sue, the world's dying.
Mm.
Why the fuck are you caring about your special wedding? And then, you know, Johnny's the playboy, you know, basically the rich playboy that doesn't offer anything other than nepotism.
Mm.
And, you know, then the things like, oh, my looks. It's just very like caricatures of that Fantastic
Shallow.
Four.
Yeah, very shallow.
And I fucking just love the characterization of these Fantastic Four. We have, you know, the Thing who's confident in his body. We have Johnny Storm who feels like an actual believable person. Like, yeah, he's kind of a, like, he doesn't come across as a womanizer, but like, there's
Still
those
got
elements.
Yeah, he's still, living his life, and he still feels like Johnny Storm, but
Yeah,
that's not his only character trait.
there's like a deep to him, and I
Mm.
really, and I replayed some of the clips like from TikTok and social media, and like this, I forgot about the scene where he's just like, tell my nephew
Mm.
that I love him, and he makes
Yeah.
the sacrifice of play, and it's just like, oh, dope, like that is something he would do. We've seen that throughout, that he is like the hero. He will do that, but because he is a hero, you know, Silver Surfer made that play instead of him,
Mm.
and I'm like, that's dope writing. I want to talk about Sue and Reed because I think
Mm.
those two are probably the biggest characters.
Oh yeah.
I we can get into like MVP, NBC in there too, and what's kind of change to that,
Mm.
because I think for NBC it's Sue for me. It was Reed, and then it became Sue.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I mean, Yeah, I
And the
think.
reason why I really like what they did with Sue, because it was very much like, yeah, you know, she's a mother, and like that was kind of like what they did, but they really built the strengths of her character and like utilized like, no, she is a mother, but like because she feels so strongly about her kid, because she had like she is overcoming. And I think it was just really, really well written. I really just like how her character is like Reed's the smart one, but she's the one that handles the like the communication pieces. She's the one that like, hey, I'm gonna
World
talk
peace,
to
basically.
yeah, and like I'm like that's arguably more valuable than like Reed, who's he's thinking problems, he's thinking, you know, he's thinking like logical, and I really like Reed's story here because, and I feel this like working on the Bleak, and I'm sure you feel this too, where you just get really into your work and everything else just doesn't matter, or like you kind of forget about the people and you're just so focused on like the thing that's at hand, and you know, and as like someone who's you know who has kids who's married, you get those times where you have like those tough choices with your spouse, and I really like those moments because like you know Galactus is like I want Franklin or the world's gonna die, and you're just like Reed's just like we need to have this conversation, and Sue's just like no we're not, and I'm like I get that as a parent because as the dad as like the logical thinker.
Careful.
I know, I know how I'm sounding, but generally, you know, gender norms, men logic, women emotion. That's how it leads. Not saying that's how it is every time, but that is just generally
Quote,
how it is.
you can
They're
quote Jake Sherman on that one.
just generally how it goes,
All right,
and
take
they're
your foot out
playing
of your
upon
mouth.
the. I'm trying to, man. You're not helping me here. But like they played upon that trope, right? Where like Sue's just like, no, we're not doing it, and Reed's just like, I know, I don't want to think this, but like we have to consider it. We have to consider all the options. And I'm like, I really just like that they had that moment, and then the Sue had that line was like, sometimes being yourself hurts me, and I'm just like, God, that's a line. God, that's a fucking line. So like the more I think about this movie, the more I really really like it, and I really just like the dynamic between Sue and Reed. And I think Sue just really stole the show here, and really just like this, like she was the main character. I thought it was Reed, but it really became her. And I think she's just really written well.
Yeah, Vanessa Kirby did do spectacular as Sue. Definitely, I mean, she looked the part and she felt the part.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean, very had kind of an elegance to her, like Sue Storm should, instead of just being like, I don't know, I don't know what to say, but yeah, I don't know. I thought she did a really good job. I liked
also,
the like strength that she brought and stuff like that to the character,
and also just the fact that she was like pushing back Galactus, and Galactus being like, "What?" And there was a moment where I'm just like, "Is Sue Storm that strong?" But I'm like, I know she is like close to that strength. And I know like this is like the women, you know, the power of motherhood kind of being at play. And I know that there's some people who would probably make fun of that. I'm not one of them. I'm
no,
one of those. I'm like, this is how you do it.
I
This
mean
is how you make a, I'm a, this is how you
she
make a,
literally
I'm a
died for it.
powerful mother. Yeah.
She literally died for it. So
And I'm like, this is how you do it. This is how you write a movie. This is how you write a movie about being a strong mother, about being a strong woman character. Like, this is how you do it. Be like Sue Storm. So, yeah, and I got her on my wall, and I'm happy that she's there. She's the only Fantastic Four character other than Doctor Doom that's on my thing, and I'm happy she's there. Let's get into let's name all the awards. I gave this movie a Fantastic Four.
yeah,
Yes, I went cliche. Solid
Yep.
four.
I
think a four
that's
plus.
a good rating.
I think a four
I think it's
plus
close.
may be in consideration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's real close to a 4+. I think if it was a little bit longer, maybe could have.
should
Like
have been
maybe
a 3-hour
maybe
film.
if we get like the director's cut, maybe the director's cut will be like because I mean there's a lot of scenes that they cut like with the Red Ghost and stuff like that. Maybe adding those little bits back in could
I'm
bring
calling
back
it
to
now.
elite level.
I want a director's cut. A director's cut of this movie could be elite. Like Disney. I know you don't do director's cut. do one for this movie.
Yeah, why not? Especially, I mean, like I feel like this one's in a different case too, where like we had so much footage like shown already that wasn't in the movie, which isn't normally the case with a lot of the other movies, to where like there's a reason, like kind of an incentive for people to want that footage,
Oh
see
yeah,
what we missed out on.
I want to see it. I would be less mad at them for making a B plus movie if they would give me, let's say next summer they're like, we're gonna release the extended cut. I'd be like, dope, I'll review it. Most valuable performer.
I mean,
Is it Vanessa Kirby?
ye- yeah, I mean, I do think I was a little nervous about Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards going into it, but I think he definitely nailed the role.
I think so.
The kind of like some of like the darker, like the deeper bits with Reed, and like him talking about how he has to like think about these worst case scenarios, because although that's the only way you can prevent them from happening, is like go to
He's
like
so
the
good
darkest
at those
places.
moments.
Yeah, and I mean I appreciated that. It made the character make sense, and it also kind of almost, I know it's a long way off, but kind of reminded me of The Thinker a little bit, just thinking about like those,
Yeah, oh yeah.
when you get like kind of acting on those darker impulses and stuff like that.
I hope we get the Thinker in some way, and I hope it's an actor that's not Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I'm gonna throw this in now because I'm thinking about it, that I was a little worried about, and am more a little worried about. Kind of feels like similar to, I guess not even. Well, see, Robert Downey Jr. was less famous when he was cast as Iron Man. A
Lot
lot
less
less famous. Whereas Pedro Pascal is like approaching like the peak of his fame, I feel like, if not already in his peak.
He's
I
at his
worry
peak, I would
about
say.
the longevity of this Reed Richards in the MCU. How long before he's too expensive, or before like we're
Oh,
cutting him out of movies because they can't afford to pay him the amount of money he requires just to be like in parts. So instead he just gets slowly cut from the MCU, just like that's what I worry about, and almost would have rather we got somebody that was less well known, that we could kind of guarantee would
yeah.
be around for a little while.
Yeah, I guess like I'm just happy Fantastic Four is back. Whereas like
Yeah.
I don't think Reed Richards is one of those characters that needs to be like in the front, like the forefront. He's always like, one of those characters that's kind of been in the background, or like
Yeah, but
he's
that's what I worry about though. Like, because a role like Reed would be perfect for like cameos in movies and stuff like that. Like people going to go see him and ask questions and try to get some help from him and stuff like that. But if Pedro Pascal's too famous and expensive that they just like don't even consider doing those scenes in movies, where like having those
fair.
moments, that's what I
I don't
worry
know.
about.
He does a lot of things. So I guess like I don't know. He seems like one of those people that like doesn't necessarily go in for the money grab. But I don't know.
Time will tell.
I
That's what
I
I worry. I guess that's just one of my concerns with picking such famous people, and that's why I appreciate like James Gunn's Superman so much more. Like David
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sweat ain't going anywhere for a little while.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm Superman. This is my world. Like I'm gonna be this for the next 10 years. I assume we're gonna get heavy Fantastic Four for this transition until like the new MCU, the rebooted version, and then we're gonna get like, then he's gonna have those cameos appearance. We're gonna get like another Fantastic Four sequel, and then I think like we're gonna barely get them, and I think that's fine. Do we want more? Obviously, but I don't know. I'm at the point where like MCU, I'm like, I don't. How much more can you do at a high quality? We're
Yeah,
already tapering off.
yeah. Well, I think the whole point is just got to explore the different stories with the different characters and stuff like that.
Agreed. Okay, so I also put Joseph Quinn in like consideration, but I think it's for sure Vanessa Kirby for most valuable performer. MVC, most valuable character. I'm still saying Sue Storm.
Yeah,
I think hands down.
I mean, she
And I
kind of accomplished the most. I mean, Reed came up with the idea to teleport the world, but then all his machines got destroyed anyways. So
yeah, all of his like I think it's funny. He's like, all right, I have a plan. All right, I have another plan. I have another plan. And but it was fun to watch. All right, most valuable villain I think is between either Galactus or Silver Surfer. I think it's easily Galactus here.
Yeah.
I think just
I think Silver Surfer
he
was
stole the
great,
screen.
but yeah,
I agree.
doesn't quite fit the villain archetype.
No.
So
And then I
it's
did,
got to be Galactus.
and then most valuable support. I did Johnny Storm because I just really like the arc of his character, and like with the Silver Surfer, I thought it was dope. Um, Anything else you want to say about Fantastic Four?
I don't think so. I don't know. It was fun. I'd say that I enjoyed it, and it was fresh, and I think that was the thing I liked the most about it.
Let's talk Doom then,
Okay.
and then we'll transition to MCU and how we're feeling about Marvel as a whole. All right, so we get this. We got a little bit of Doom in this movie. We got the absence of Doom and Latveria and all the anytime that there was a World Council meeting, we got to see Latveria not be like there is no representative Latveria there, meaning Doom exists, but he's not taking part of the current timeline. And then at the end, we get Franklin touching Doom's face, or what we appear to be Doom. We had Thunderbolts. The end of Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four comes through, and that's it.
Yeah, I didn't know that until recently because I haven't watched that movie yet.
It's a good movie. Should watch it.
I do want to watch it.
How are we feeling about Doomsday, Spider-Man, Secret Wars, Daredevil? How are we feeling about the MCU after watching Fantastic Four?
It's feeling a little messy right now. I think it's kind of I'm excited about Spider-Man, and then I guess let's go Avengers. Like, I don't really know. I feel like that's kind of the pattern, right? Like, what else is supposed to come out between now and then? Random stuff.
I believe it's mostly that. It's going to be Spider-Man, and then it's going to be Avengers, and I think we're getting a bunch of, like, we're getting Marvel Zombies, we're getting Wonder Man at the TV show, we're getting Eyes of Wakanda, and now we're getting a bunch of news of things that potentially could come out. Oh, and we're getting Daredevil next year too. That's the big one.
Daredevil, yes.
With
Yeah.
Kristen Ritter coming back as Jessica Jones, it's being like a soft Defenders, season 2. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm at the point where I'm like, it seems like they're cleaning up a mess. The second phase was just really messy. They didn't really have a plan. They really should have they should have had a plan. They should have had a more concrete, like, this is what we're doing. It seems like we're just, at the time they're like, we're just going to make stuff and see where it leads to, which is kind of what they did with, the Infinity Saga, but they tighten up at the end. And now it's like time to tighten up, but like, how do you tighten up so many stories that don't really lead to any general direction? And so now we're finally getting to tighten up, but like our tightening up movie was Fantastic Four, which is a movie in a completely different universe, which is solid.
Nothing,
the characters are
nothing
good.
to do with any of the rest of the MCU so far.
So it's weird because I'm like, okay, I trust the Russo brothers. I'm rewatching Community again. Like, anything the Russo brothers touch is usually solid. And so I trust that Doomsday Secret Wars are going to be solid. And I'm like, they're probably going to be their worst movies that they've done between Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. Like, these are probably going to be their worst movies. Now, I don't know what to take with Phase 5. Like Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts. I'm like, I don't have like this level of excitement, so I'm like, I'll get excited when it's here, but it's hard to get myself like pumped up. But I will say, I'm excited to see more Fantastic Four. These characters are great.
That's pretty much exactly where I'm at. I'm kind of just like, when it comes, I'll see it. I still have some fleeting hope for Spider-Man, but
Can we talk Spider-Man a little
we
bit?
can talk a little Spider-Man. I heard a
Or
little talk today.
I don't know what to feel about it because they keep like Punisher's going to be in this movie, and it's supposed to. I get this whole like, oh, the Hulk's going to be. They got to stop the Hulk, but then it's like, oh, it's going to be Mr. Negative with Stephen Ewan being Mr. Negative, and then I like, oh, Michael, what is it, Mando? I believe his name is. He's coming back to play Scorpion. Freaking love that dude. He was great in Better Call Saul. Like, he was great as Voss as Far Cry 3. Like, I would love to see him more as like Scorpion. But I'm like, I'm seeing all these like different rumors, and like Sadie from Stranger Things is in it. They're trying to like, is she going to be Jean Grey? Is she going to be Mary Kate or MJ? Is she going to be Gwen Stacy? And just like, there's like so much news that I'm like, I feel like this movie's not going to be great. But then again, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, I think the stuff I heard today was that like the assistant director or something posted a picture from his office, and it showed two of the comic book covers that he has like on his wall that have Boomerang, and I can't remember who they said the other villain was. But like,
Oh yeah,
basically
Boomerang is going to be in
confirmed,
it.
yeah, basically confirmed two of the villains that were going to be in it, because he
That was
said
another
before
one.
that he put all the comic book covers on the walls of like the comics that are inspiring this movie. So by showing those, he
Interesting.
kind of spoiled some of the movie.
Yeah. I did read the Boomerang run, so I'm actually really familiar with Boomerang. He's an interesting character. Kind of like, he's like that, he's a villain, but he's like that unserious villain where you're like, I kind of like him, and he could honestly turn out to be good, but also like, the guy's kind of a douche. It's kind of like, he's like Kite Man.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, that's kind of how I feel about him. So yeah, same with MCU. It's just, I kind of had a feeling that Fantastic Four wasn't going to get me like all the way excited, because I didn't see how it was going to, but I'm excited to see it.
I did
But
really
again,
think that it was going to end with Galactus destroying the Earth, though. Kind of
I
glad it
thought so
didn't,
too.
because then, I mean, like, what kind of characters would they be going forward after like such a massive failure? Like, would they just be super depressing and sad characters
Yeah.
that wouldn't be super fun? But I thought
I
that
love.
was how it was going to end.
Let's do conspiracy theory. So the conspiracy theory is that Doom's going to steal Franklin for whatever reason, and because he's stealing, like, it's going to be Sue and Fantastic Four trying to find Franklin, trying to capture get Doom, and it's going to be them traveling the multiverse, and that's why they're in Thunderbolts. And I'm like, it's solid. It seems like that's the plausible thing that's happening. What's your
you could-
thoughts?
I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of like this riff off of the original Secret Wars story, isn't it? I think in the 2016 Secret Wars, does he steal the Beyonder's power for
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Rips
So
out
maybe
Thanos'
instead of
spine.
yeah, maybe instead of the Beyonder's power, he steals Franklin's power.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because I mean they're comparable. So
All right,
maybe that's
should we
kind
get
of the vibe.
I want to just say one thing about the reboot. Kevin Feige said they were going to reboot. I didn't really say anything on this channel. I feel like I maybe should have, but at the same time, it just was what I thought was going to happen. So it's just like, for me, it's not news. It's just like, oh, they're actually confirming what was the most probable, because in Secret Wars, that's when all the universes combine into one. That's why Miles Morales was Spider-Man rather than. So, and that's why Miles Morales is Spider-Man in our universe, as well as, Peter Parker. Like, we have two Spider-Mans instead of it just seems like that was always going to be the case, and now it's going to be confirmed, and then X-Men is going to be like the focus on moving on
X-Men
forward.
and
Which,
Fantastic Four.
yeah, which dope. And we're still going to get some Avengers. We're still going to get them here and there. We're probably going to still get some characters, but all right, DCU. We are Superman. The hype has kind of died down a little bit. Still there, very much hype, but it's dying down a little bit, and we're getting
a few
Peacemaker season 2 hype now. We just got the first trailer being released. They just did an interview with James Gunn, and supposedly Peacemaker. I just saw a flying helmet. I didn't know what you saw.
Oh, I saw a clip, of him doing an interview with somebody. I think it's the guy, Straw Hat. I think is the guy.
Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah,
it was fucking hilarious. and then I saw the interview too, where like where John Cena was making fun of James Gunn. He's like, he fucking hates the "can't see me" jokes. He fucking hates it. It's like, every goddamn time. I just love the dynamics. I'm like, as James, like, I get why James Gunn would hate it, because it's it's unoriginal at this point. But John Cena's just like, bitch. And I'm like, you know what? I love the dynamic, and I love that they're just making fun of it. James Gunn hates it because it's just old at this point. John Cena's like, I'm in. I love it. I'm still for it. And like, I love the mutual respect. So Peacemaker season 2 just drops, and we're getting multiverse immediately. Didn't think this was gonna happen, but we're getting multiverse storyline. They're jumping into a whole new universe, and he's talking about what is canon, what's not canon. How are we feeling about the DCU now? A couple weeks after Superman, Peacemaker's on its way,
and we have like I'm so excited. I don't know. James Gunn has done no wrong so far in my eyes, so
I'm hyped
here for it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm more hyped. Like, I feel like MCU's old, and I'm like, DCU, like, yes. Like, I'm the guy in the street with like walking with Marvel.
You're the meme.
And just being like,
looking back at DCU.
That's just how I feel right now. I'm like, I'm in. Like, I just love that there's one guy in charge, and I know Kevin Feige was it before, and he was this person. But like, we just have a nerd that's just like, I'm gonna just tell the best stories I can possibly tell, and I'm gonna go hardcore and make sure we tell the best stories we're gonna tell. And I'm like, I'm for it. I want good DC content. I want somebody who understands the characters. And Superman, just like that movie's iconic. Like, that movie's going to be iconic. The punk rocker, I think that Superman is going to be an icon for ages, especially, again, not trying to get too political on the show, but like, it's a huge play, you know? And so I'm all for DCU. I feel like I could talk every week about it at this point, because we're building to something really cool. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than I'm excited. I don't know what to expect from Peacemaker season 2. We've already watched season 1. I forget how fucking awesome Peacemaker is. Like, that show is goddamn. Like, what did we give it, a 4? 4+?
Yeah, 4+ maybe. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's peak.
And I'm just like, okay, this is like 4+5- territory. This is, I don't know how much better you can get it. It's fun. John Cena's just a blast. He's having fun. I also just think it's weird that James Gunn's wife is like, and John Cena are like lover, or like, there's like that loving.
Oh, that's James Gunn's wife? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. There's like an interview where he's just like, yeah, I'm in Hawaii and I'm just writing away. And she's just like, are you going to come hang out with me? And he's just like, I'm writing your show. She's like, no, I want you to come, be on the vacation. And I'm like, someone, working on our stuff, like, I get that completely. But I think it's just interesting because there's like a love relationship between, what is it, Hartgrave, her character, and then John Cena's Peacemaker. And I'm just like, this is weird because it's like these two are flirting. Like, John Cena, this really like built dude, is
like some might say like one of the best looking men.
I don't know if I'd say that, but like he's a fit dude, right?
Hey, there's a lot of people that really like John Cena. He's got that classic square face. He's got the look. But it's just interesting because like I'm like, James Gunn wrote these love scenes, and it's about his wife and John Cena. And I'm like, it's just an interesting thought process of like, okay. I'm excited though. I'm excited for Peacemaker. I feel like this is gonna set in a way the tone for the DCU. Like, I just get more of like an original kind of thing. Like Superman had to kind of fit a mold a little bit, whereas this can kind of go any way it wants. There's not like the expectations with it like Superman.
Well, Superman's iconic. Like, as in like Superman's, like, the film stayed in its own atmosphere.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Peacemaker is like, I'm going to deal with the lore. I'm going to deal with like the world itself, and we're going to tease up other things of the world. And I just really feel like that's what season 2 is going to be. And I feel like that's the importance of it. Because he wrote Creatures Commandos, Superman, and Peacemaker all in one. Like, he wrote those 3 projects back to back to back. And he stated that he hated Peacemaker. Like, he didn't like the writing because he was so done with it at this point. But I just get the sense that, like, if he wrote in 3s, then it's a trilogy of sort. 2005 trilogy. We got Creatures Commando. We got like that starting story. We got Superman. Now Peacemaker is transitioning into this world. What does that say about the world? So I just get the sense it's going to set it up. What way? I don't know. But I'm excited for it.
Me too. Hyped.
So, very hyped. It is peaked. Piqued my interest. All right, let's get into a couple other shows. I plan on in this month to at least talk about 2 of the 3 of these, if not all 3.
Okay.
All right, so Twisted Metal, we're recording this July 31st. Twisted Metal, the first 3 episodes of season 2 has come out. You watched season 1, I watched season 1. I think I gave that show like a 4-.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought it was a fun show. I thought like towards the end it kind of got a little dragged on, but it was just stupid fun. And I rewatched it too. I'm caught up to that show as well. It's so fun. It's just a stupid fun show. It looks good. I'm going to cover season 2 once it comes out. We're getting tournament mode. We're getting like actually the playable characters from it.
Yep.
I hear mostly solid things, that it's still fun, but it's like not as solid as it should be. What are your overall thoughts for Twisted Metal?
I haven't watched any of the new stuff yet. I thought
it just came out.
The first season was good though. Yeah, I thought the first season was good though. I mean, it was fun. I think that was all it had to be. It was fun.
I like some of the actors in it. We got
what's the guy that plays
Falcon.
No, the flaming clown guy, Sweet Tooth. That's his name.
Oh yeah, Will
the
Arnett.
rapper guy. No, the rapper guy that plays him.
Who?
It's not Will Arnett that plays Sweet Tooth. It's a big fat guy.
Yeah, he's the voice.
No, I thought the other dude did the voice.
No.
I thought it was somebody else.
Will Arnett does the voice of Sweet Tooth. You can look it up. And then, man, I'm blanking on these like actors' names right now because I don't have it. I don't have it like up. But I don't know. The guy who does NoHo Hank is going to be Calypso. Anthony Kerrigan, I believe his name is. He was also Metamorpho in Superman. I'm excited for his character. We got Axel coming up. I don't know who's playing him, but you know that's like the character I was always picking in Twisted Metal. So I'm just like, dope. I don't know. I haven't done my research on like Twisted Metal playable characters, so I don't really know what's to come. But I'm just excited to watch it. Like it just seems like fun mayhem, even though it might not be the best narratively. Yeah, did you see Will Arnett?
Yeah.
Voicing.
He's played by Samoa Joe, who's what I was thinking about, but he is voiced by Will Arnett.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
I didn't know it was Will Arnett at first, but then I'm like, oh wait, no, that makes sense. I love the Sweet Tooth's fun. I didn't think I was going to enjoy that character as much. Just the raging psychopath dude's like, yeah, he's not a great person, but he's entertaining for a TV show. So that will be, I think I'm going to wait until the very end, but we'll see. I'm going to watch the first 3 episodes a day. So Twisted Metal season 2 coming soon. Then we have Dexter Resurrection. This is a show that when me and you were first friends, I think like you helped me get into Dexter because you'd be watching it.
It's
And I'm
one
like,
of the
that's
first shows that I watched, like long drama series.
And Dexter is one of those series that like I just feel like it should be dead. It should have been dead like 10 years ago. It should have remained dead, and it should have just one of those shows that it had 4 solid seasons. We look back on it like, oh, that was amazing, and we wish for more. But now we live in a universe where we got a lot more of it. The 4 seasons after season 4 were not great. I remember watching the finale and you just being like, Jake, don't watch it. Don't watch it. You can come up with anything better. And I'm the person that's just like, you know what? No, I'm probably going to like this. Maybe we'll see what it's... I watched it and I was like, God damn it. It's the only one I was just like, yeah, I should have watched it. Then New Blood came out 2 years ago. It was one of those shows where like, I watched it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Didn't feel like it was necessary. And now we have Dexter Original Sin, which is a prequel. I haven't watched it yet. I hear it's actually solid. I'm not that interested in like the before time of Dexter. I'm not that interested in prequels in general. Better Call Saul is an exception. But this new series, we're 4 episodes in, and I think the 5th one either came out last night or it's coming out today. I'm digging it.
Wait, so there's been 3 new Dexter series? This is the third one. Oh, I forgot about the New Blood one. Ugh, why?
But it's the original showrunner. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm just like, I want it to die, but I'm like, I'm watching it. And I'm like, okay, Dexter, he got in New Blood, he got killed off. That's how they left it. And of course, Resurrection, he's not dead. Harrison moves to New York. Dexter moves to New York. Something happens with Harrison, and then Dexter finds like this urge of like New York serial killers. And so like I told you the scene a little bit where like because I see all these actors were in Dexter and I just wasn't paying any attention, but now I'm watching it and Dexter met like this. He's in like this league of serial killers. He met this like rich fancy person played by Peter Dinklage. Who's like meet all the other serial killers, played by Kristen Ritter, Neil Patrick Harris. What is his name? Dave, not DiMaggio, but like he plays Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't.
He's gonna be
Remember
playing
something
Mr.
about.
He's gonna be playing Mr. Three in One Piece. Really good actor. Really like
Good
I
character.
don't know if
actor,
he's
yeah.
a yeah, like really solid actor. So you have a room with like Michael C. Hall's Dexter, and he's like pretending to be this other serial killer in a room with all these other serial killers. And I even made the joke. I was like, he literally just like left an opportunity to have sex with like Kristen Ritter's character to go kill Neil Patrick Harris. I'm like, that's fucking wild. This feels like Avengers, serial killer Avengers, and I'm like, I should be making fun of it, but I'm like, I'm enjoying this. Like, it's just, it's fun. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out like the rest of the season just like no, like tailspins into something that's just like, not strong narratively, because like this wasn't a thing for the first 3 episodes, and I wasn't even like the story itself is interesting, but I'm not going to get into the plot. Basically, there is a murder involving Harrison, and like I think that itself is intriguing. Last little bit,
So, do you have to watch New Blood in order for this to
yes,
make
yes.
sense? God damn it.
You you do, and Angel Batista's in it too, and he's like trying to track down like the ghost of Bay Harbor Butcher type of thing, and it's such a I really love that concept. I'm like, go
It's
Angel.
gone so far, yeah.
And so I'm just it's an intriguing series. I'll review it. I'm still at the point where like this should have died. But what's really confusing is it's the original showrunner, but the guy who directed the first episode was Scott Buck, who is like the showrunner who's ruined so many different shows. He took over for Dexter season 5, ruined that show. He did Inhumans so horribly that they're just like, yeah, we're not doing Inhumans anymore. Miss Marvel's not an Inhuman.
watched-
She's an X-Men.
I watched a whole like video breaking down the Inhumans and the Inhuman show and like why it failed so bad. That's
Yeah,
funny.
and
Like the other day.
that's the same guy that took over Dexter.
Yeah,
So
that makes
and like, but he directed episode 1, and I was like, God damn, no wonder why this is good. The new showrunner like made this, and I watched the credits, new showrunner, and then directed by Scott Buck, and I'm just like, I'm like, that's
how?
the guy who ruined it, but now it's good, and he directed it. I don't get it.
It's funny.
So I don't get the series. It should be dead, but I'm like I'm watching it. And I'm like I'm
resurrected.
intrigued. It did. But here's the thing: it doesn't matter like narrative wise, like where you go, as long as you just have solid storytelling, and that's what this is. It's solid storytelling. But if someone's just like, I just can't get into Dexter again, I would be like, I didn't think I was going to either. But it's worth a watch. I would say New Blood's worth a watch. Resurrection is fun. I don't know if it's worth it, Brandon. I can't tell you if it's worth it. But it is. I'm enjoying myself. It's like the little show that's just like, okay, I'm excited for when it comes on. Like, I'm in. All right, last little bit. Rick and Morty.
Oh yes.
Season 8 has ended. I kind of want to rewatch it and talk about it a little bit. Because, like, this is one of those shows that I'm like, oh, it's on. I'll watch it. It feels like Archer for me. We're like,
I was so big into it when it first came out, and then just stopped caring.
well,
Like got too popular.
it got too popular, and then like all the hype died down. But like, where do you go? Like Archer was like, there's no real place for this character to go and grow. And then Rick and Morty's doing something where it's like, I'm watching season 8 and I'm watching the finale, and we have a healthy Rick. Like a mentally, like he's doing mentally healthy stuff. And like the last episode we watched was like the idea of like memories. It was about this idea of like this memory of a person is trying to stay alive. So this Rick memory is like trying to save the family using memories of within people.
Okay.
And it's such a fucked up like thought process where I was like, I don't really grasp what's happening, but I really just love the idea of like they're just exploring the dynamics of the family, and like this is what it would be if like they were like healthy and happy. And I really just, from a mental health lens, I'm like, this show's growing on me. And like it's totally different than what it was, and it's hard to get hyped for it because like the premise of the show is like, oh, the show can do anything. It can tell any wacky story. These characters, like everything's so like twisted, and like narratively, it's such a complex show. But after you get like 6, 7 seasons of the same thing, what is there to do? And I think that's what kind of like where the world's at with Rick and Morty. But after watching episode 10, I was just like, God damn, that's such a. I'm like, we can't forget about this show, which is why I want to like rewatch season 8 and like actually here's my thoughts on Rick and Morty.
Okay.
That being said, I also have to rewatch Archer because I don't know where I left off. I think I still have season 14 to watch.
How many seasons does that show have? 14? Oh my god! I think I stopped watching like season 7.
Yeah,
I think I watched like one season of like the
wait,
weird.
it might not be 14. It might not be 14. I gotta look it up. But yeah, that's another show. I'm just like, I gotta go back. So, all right. Any lasting thoughts?
Look out for the Roll for the End podcast.
Yes, Roll for the End podcast, YouTube. We're gonna do Bleak. Excited.
Eventually, we'll start posting links to the channel in the description of these videos. Yeah.
As we level up. All right.
Yeah.
This is your host, Jack Sherbing, with MiYm. As always, thank you. All right, you're outs. Looking forward to your pin on this video. It's gonna be right here, that right there. All right, thanks, guys.